Okay, so we're going to use this clay to make our sketch that we did. What shape is the bottom of her pottery going to be?
Square.
Square, okay. So you have to think about why you're going to build up and what shape you should be starting with. Remember, always take your clay and wedge the clay. I just use one hand because, well, I'm strong, I have really good technique, and it's just a small piece of clay and I have decently big hands. You might need two hands. That's okay. It's just whatever you need, okay? So I'm going to wedge the clay a little bit. Now I'm going to take it and hammer it down on both sides to get the slab to be evenly thick. We want it to be evenly thick, so there shouldn't be thick and thin spots. Use the knife to cut. Thank you. Great job. Here's your slip that goes in the middle. I'm going to push it there so that you guys can still see. Hold your knife like that. Draw the knife along. It'll cut really well. And I've traditionally been like a wheel thrower, but I've been really getting into hand building lately because it's kind of more unique. And one of the main aspects of making art is that it's kind of one of a kind, you know, so you have to embrace that quality. That's good. This is a needle tool. You see how I clean it just lightly? It's great for writing and for scoring. And there's new terms we learned. Slab, we learned that right now. I'm going to put Zukowski, and I'm going to put the year. Oh, I got it right. And with you, can you put your room number so that I just don't lose it? It's a lot easier for me to keep it together. Okay, awesome. Good to go. Now, what you're getting graded on today is, did you get that done? Okay, check. I got that in. Then take the rest of your scraps and be like the Japanese potters. Use up all the clay you use. They don't waste any clay in Japanese pottery studios. They're just like total users of everything they get. So that is, it's about a 9 coil right there because that little spot right there. I'm trying to thicken it up by pushing it back together. If I spread it out, I make the clay go thinner. All right, that's like a 9 because you can see the little sketchiness right there. Okay, that's about a 9 out of 10. This is like about an 8 out of 10, and this is like a 7 out of 10. Okay, that's all you can manage. Okay, 10 out of 10 is just like perfect. Let me see if I can do a perfect one. It looks like it was out of a machine, and it should be a perfect cylinder, meaning it shouldn't have a flat side and a yeah, flat side and a thin side, I guess is the best way to put that. Okay. What do you think I'm going to do with this next? I'm going to break it into pieces, she thinks. No. I'm actually going to score it. Take your needle tool, hold it like 3-finger grip, 1, 2, 3, and just go ahead and score it. Scoring is similar to like welding, where you're making a bond between the two pieces of clay, and the bond point is actually stronger than the clay itself. Same with wood. Did you know when you glue two pieces of wood together and then you snap it over your knee, the last place it's going to break is where you glued it, because glue joints are actually stronger on wood than the actual wood is. This is very similar to like welding metal too, where you add a little bit of metal. And we're not going to add more metal. We're going to add this stuff called slip. What am I doing right now? Scoring. What comes after scoring? Slip. That's why they say score and slip. And when the clay is really wet, you can just stick it together and it'll stay. But once it dries, it'll pull apart again. So this is to help it resist the shrinkage. Because shrinkage is very stressful for the clay to go through. Because it shrinks when it dries. This piece will be 15% smaller when you are done with it than when it is right now. Because it'll lose water weight. Then we'll fire it. It'll get smaller as well. Come on, pay attention. Just stay focused. It happens. All right. We know. You don't need to make a big deal out of it, okay? Here. Press down the coil and turn it so that you're pressing it down right near the edge. And now I'm going to cut it into pieces like you said, okay? You can use your needle tool for that. Please don't cut with your needle tool, though. Please cut with your knife. Okay, awesome. Clean up the edges. Okay, class, what do you think I'm going to do next?
Another piece?
I'm going to make it taller. If I wanted my shape to go out, where would I add the coil? On the edge. If I wanted it to go in, where would I add the coil?
The inside.
Right, so if you want it to go out, add your next coil a little bit out there. If you want it to go in, add your next coil a little bit further in, okay? And if you want it to go straight up, just put it right on top. So even, consistent coil, round. Thin. Thin makes your pottery lighter, which means it's more well-made. It's going to be easier for people to use, okay? All right. Since you're already here, are there any questions? Okay. When I give you clay, you're going to go work. When we're done, you're going to get plastic off that table. Chris, point at the table. You're going to get plastic off that table and wrap up your pottery. Chris, grab me a piece of plastic so I can demonstrate. The plastic is to keep your clay wet so you can keep working on it more. Right now, this is like green. It's like greenware, but it's even more just like plastic clay. It's just as squishy as it gets, okay? Later, it'll get leather hard. It'll get a bit harder. And then after that, we'll let it dry out all the way till it's bone dry or greenware. So I usually go like that. And then, Chris, are there blue trays over there? Put this on a blue tray. Or bring the blue tray over. Sure, we'll show how to put on a blue tray. Sweet. Okay, bam. Now I'm ready to go. Okay, and I'll put those away in the cabinet. After we're done, look at me. Extra clay. We'll have somebody collect that. You're going to collect all the extra clay, okay? Tools, they go back in the cabinet, okay? Tables get scraped. Go in the cabinet over there. Grab a scraper out. It's on the top shelf. Slip gets put away. Chairs get stacked. Then we line up to go wash our hands. Okay, so we don't wash our hands until the room is clean. Okay, Chris, what's your question? We already started a base?
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, so we are going to keep adding more coils and go higher. Okay, I still want to grade your coils today. Okay, all right. So we know how to do that. Awesome. And let's get to work.